Lovely greetings and hello and welcome to KUDOS Latte show. And today's show is very special because we are having an amazing guest. And if you want to know who is that great personality from South Africa, then you have to check out this video. Dr. Khomotso from South Africa. I would request you to please switch on your camera so that world can see you and take some inspiration from you, Dr. Khomotso. I think she is facing some problem, so let's wait for the show. And before I take a deep dive with my KUDOS Latte show and till when Dr. Khomotso arrive, let's welcome the creator, the master, the universe, I can say, who made this beautiful platform, who is the source of inspiration for millions and billions. And on this auspicious day, let's welcome our founder and CEO, Matt Allen. Matt Allen, welcome to our show, and it's been a great privilege to meet you on this platform of KUDOS Latte show. Yeah.
Thank you. I always think, oh, who's this exciting person who's coming on? And then you say me. It's like, wow, who is this person that we've got on the line? Oh, it's me. Okay, so Dr. Khomotso should be with us soon. I think she's just having a couple of technical difficulties, like you were saying. Potentially it is because in South Africa, it is a very special day. Can you guess what the special day is, Supriya?
Yes, who will know? And that is Nelson Mandela Day, if I am right?
You are right, yeah. Mandela Day.
Yeah.
A celebration of love, freedom, peace, many other amazing words that sum up basically a situation that arose from some difficult situations, a bit like the world today, where the world is full of difficult problems, ranging from freedom and war, much like subjugated Nelson Mandela in those days, and the people that he has helped and supported to make life so much better for, into a world that is potentially able to realize peace and freedom. Then certainly in South Africa, I've learned something since knowing Dr. Khomotso and some of my other South African friends, May Raju or Yolanda Peterson, great friends of KUDOS as well, about what they do to celebrate Mandela Day. And for me, this is amazing because it's all about community and love and sharing for other people that may not have as much as we do. And so potentially what I understand is that they spend the day giving back. Sometimes just 7 minutes of just going around and supporting their friends, their families, the people in the local community. We'll ask Khomotso about what she's been doing today when she manages to get here. I imagine that in South Africa, the internet is very much overrun with people trying to organize these amazing things, supporting each other and carrying on the tradition of trying to make a community into a community about care and support for everybody else. So we're just going to wait for her. In the meantime, I guess I can share some of the things that we are currently up to with KUDOS. I think she's
Here she is, Dr. Khomotso. Can you hear us?
Hello. I'm here. Can you see me?
No, your video camera is turned off.
Voice.
Is it not showing?
No. If you on your screen at the bottom, there are 3 dots. If you click that, or at the bottom there is a cog thing. It looks like a cog, and it says settings. And then if you go to video and turn on video, then you should be able to support your video onto the stream. Or it could be that you don't have enough bandwidth for the internet currently.
If not, then you can come through your mobile if you want, or if that supports you.
I don't know what's wrong.
Take your time, because it happens, and we all know this is a virtual platform, so technical glitches the part of the virtual platform. So no worries for that.
Hello, Jess Harvey, who has written very nicely in the comments. She says, hello, great to see you, Matt Allen and Dr. Supriya. And I'm sure now she's rapidly trying to say hello, Dr. Khomotso too. So let me just fill in the gap.
I don't know how to do the camera.
Oh, we have something. Something has changed.
Oh, must I use my phone, Dr. Supriya?
Yeah, you can use your phone in that case.
What you need to do, Dr. Khomotso, is to leave the stream and then rejoin with your phone, because otherwise it will suck all of your internet ability. There we go. Well done, Jess Harvey.
Yeah, Jess Harvey. Great to see you, Dr. Khomotso. Wow, lovely.
So some of what we've been doing recently and what we intend to do over the next coming weeks, if anybody is looking at KUDOS Core, they will see, if they scroll down the page, and I should be putting a post up hopefully later on today to do with this. We have a poll, because on the 2nd of August, we are going to be doing a meet and greet, or a social event, the KUDOS Summer Extravaganza. This is version 2, because last year we did one with Omar, our good friend of the show, where we did Zoom party, and we had an extravaganza marathon of Zoom party KUDOS quiz shows, and we had a winner of Jamie Edwards, who was by far the most intelligent person on LinkedIn. Now, I don't know whether that says something about Jamie or says something about LinkedIn, but Jamie won, and all fair play to him. He was the successor. So we hope to this year be doing something different. One of the options is to do a quiz. Some of the other options are networking events, a happy hour. Hopefully every hour is a happy hour when we're having a summer extravaganza, because otherwise it's going to be very miserable. I don't really want to sit through that. Or a networking event, and if you want to suggest something yourself, then you can do. Some of the other things that we have coming up over the summer is that we are looking to launch our education platform, and that's going to go live to basically support a voice and accent training course that goes along for a number of weeks. And we're also teaming up with the Great Discovery to host some of our content and courses there as well. So we're going to be reaching out to people with a view to that. We are also going to have KGC version 2.1. For those people who are aware of KGC this year, that was in Las Vegas, due to some health problems and some other technical difficulties, we weren't able to deliver on the virtual platform. So instead, this time around, in August, we are going to hold the virtual event and have a number of great speakers, including Dr. Khomotso, producing the video, so that then we can watch them, and that'll help us to understand more about homelessness and community. Producing the video, help us to. So I'm going to leave the stream so that then you two can get on with the show. Welcome back, Dr. Khomotso. Good to see you. And we look forward to listening to some wonderful things from your side. I'll come back and have a little chat in a short while.
Welcome, Dr. Khomotso. We were just desperately waiting for you. I can understand the terrible network. Yeah. I think the technical glitches, again, very, very challenging for Dr. Khomotso. But the best part of Dr. Khomotso I really loved about her is yes, she's still trying to be on our show besides facing n number of challenges, technology, technology, technology. So, Matt Allen, may I ask you one question, if you don't mind, on the live show? When something happens with you, like technical glitches and that sort of incident, how do you take those challenges and how do you overcome those pretty netty kitty challenges in your life? Can you please explain?
So I've been doing this not for as long as some people, but I've been doing this for a year and a half, 2 years, and I have some technical experience. I used to build computers and stuff like that, water-cooled computers back in the day for gamers. Before that became very easy to do when it was actually a skill. And I used to build these big gaming rigs with graphics cards and motherboards inside, and then water cooling to keep them nice and cool. So I like to stay cool, or at least on the surface I do, whilst I'm manically pressing buttons and trying to get everything sorted out. Maybe I can show people a little bit of some of the kit that I have to use. So I'm partially sighted, so I tend to use many buttons to very specialized equipment. So this is my mouse, or at least one of them, and each one of these buttons does something different. So this is on the side of my thumb. So whilst I'm doing stuff, I can do things with my thumb to press buttons very easily. Because without me being able to access things that I can't see so easily with my eyes, I need to use my feelings in my fingers and stuff and my muscle memory to be able to know where things are and try and get things done. Most of my life is about adaptation because I very much try to live as much of a normal life as possible. And sometimes it looks as though there's very little going on, or that I'm looking all around. One of the big adaptations, and you know this better than most people, is that I have in front of me a 49-inch TV screen, because otherwise I can't see what's going on. Then I have my laptop off to the side. Then I have another screen over the other side, so that then I can see stuff big enough so that then I know what's going on. So yeah, sometimes these technical things happen. One of the more recent things has been in Kenya, where some of the calls over the internet, even Zoom calls, have turned into what we used to do when I was a kid, which is having two tin cans on either end of a piece of string and having like a walkie-talkie type thing where you can talk down one tin can to the other tin can, and the string will carry along the echo of your voice, the vibration, to actually deliver the sound in the other tin can. And very much that was what was happening with some of my Zoom chats. Me, the founder of a largely tech-based organization, and here I am having conversations with people that's a bit of a, I say my stuff and then say it's your turn, and then the other person says their stuff and says, no, it's your turn. It was really weird.
This is so wonderful, Matt. I mean, we always say turn your challenges into opportunities, and that's what we can see from your life. And this is, you can say that this is going on and on and on. But yes, I do believe, how do you tackle your problem and how do you see your problem? That clearly shows your perception, and that this is really lovely, Matt. I think we all should learn from you, your great quality, turning your challenges into opportunity. And yeah, she is there once again. Dr. Khomotso, we are so excited to host you. Can you hear us? Well, if your cam is not working, we can still listen you and we can go for your interview. No worries for that. What do you say? Your voice has a power.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we can do the best of what we can because I've been trying, but
yeah, I do appreciate your efforts. I do appreciate.
Can you hear me?
So, Yeah, I can hear you very well. So, without any delay, without any pause, let's welcome Dr. Khomotso from South Africa. And first of all, I really, really, really appreciate
Can you hear me?
your the quality coming and going, but you're not leaving the battlefield. That is the true, the true quality of a leader. So, Dr. Khomotso, first of all, welcome. And without any pause, kindly enlighten the world your life journey, and we would love to hear that. Yeah.
Hi, Supriya. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I didn't hear everything that you're saying, but I assume that you wanted me to introduce myself.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a great honor to be here, and it's a privilege. Thank you very much for Kudos Latte Show for this opportunity, and I really feel honored. My name is Khomotšo Malete-Mashalane. I'm here in South Africa, and it's such a great honor to be here. My apologies for the technicalities. Some of us are not so technically savvy. Um, I'll start by introducing myself. I'm a human resources expert. I worked in the corporate environment as a human resources expert. But the human resources environment encouraged me so much that I started to look at organizations from a humanity point of view. This is why I ended up being involved in so many NGOs as a global leader or as an ambassador of some of the organizations. And I subsequently wrote books for women empowerment. Some are just general books of leadership. Human resources is my passion. It has inspired me so much because I love working with people as well, which is really my passion, and it has motivated me to be where I am today. I have realized that working with people, or when people collaborate, that is where we achieve as people. As long as we do not integrate the human element in everything that we do, it's so difficult to transform our world or transform our organizations. And I view organizations and microcosms of society, because as long as organizations work in silos or have this silo mentality, then it is very difficult to deliver what we're supposed to deliver as people, as communities, or as the world at large. I believe that organizations ultimately are there to make this world a better place. And that is how I view human resources. And I believe that we all have to adhere or understand the humanity aspect of human resources or organizational development, as a strategy, going forward. That's briefly how I can introduce myself. Otherwise, we'll be here for a very long time. But I want to stick to, just my purpose. My higher purpose is human resources, and just improving human resources and seeing how best we can improve as people. And that is how I have been involved at organizational level and even global level, using and leveraging of my expertise of human resources and bringing in the human aspect of that. That's briefly how I can introduce myself. I'm a mother of three, two daughters and one son, and they're my true blessing. And I'm just surrounded by very supportive friends and people. And yes, the long and short of it is that the world loves me. And I believe that the world will reciprocate. If you give the world positive energy, it will reciprocate and give it back to you. And that's what happened to me. Thank you so
Wow,
much.
Dr.
That's the
Khomotso,
briefly
this
how I
is
can introduce
great.
myself.
Yeah, very true. I
Thank you.
reciprocate the same when you are telling about the HR, human resource, and everybody knows HR, human resource is the backbone of any organization. And Dr. Khomotso, you are doing a wonderful job in this field, in this community, and making everyone leverage of their potential knowledge and so many opportunities. So it's really a great honor when we are talking about a human organization job or the backbone, the HR, Dr. Khomotso. So, Dr. Khomotso, this was your real life journey, lovely journey, but still, as a host, I have one question. Does Dr. Kumotso, on this place of success, at this place of your powerful journey, your challenges, we would love to know. And besides your technical glitches challenge, I would love to know your real life challenge too. Yeah. Can you hear Dr. Kumotso?
Okay, thank you for the question. Uh, I like the question because I believe that challenges. Can you hear me, Dr. Supriya?
Yes, challenges, your challenges in life.
Yes, I had so many challenges in life, and there were so many beautiful things that happened to me. But I realized that, you know what, in life you have to embrace both the good, the bad, and the ugly because they're part of your story. And, you know, going to university will not offer you opportunities to make mistakes. So life will just teach you, it will humble you. So I was humbled by life as well. The latest lesson was when during COVID-19, when I lost my my executive role as the head of human resources because it was a medical aid company, so they had to liquidate the company, so it was no longer doing well. So subsequently I lost my job, an executive position. So you can imagine what happens to you when you lose you know a future that was so meticulously planned, and you have to live in an unstable environment, and you're not sure about where money will come from. But what I did was just to intensify my work ethic and my level of excellence. But it didn't come easy. I had to learn the lesson. I had to allow myself to, I'll say, disintegrate, you know. Well, not literally, but I allowed myself to just you just disarm yourself. You allow yourself to be disempowered. If it comes to ashes, it's okay. Sometimes you have to break down into pieces so that you can build a new version of you, which is your highest self, where you'll be able to tap into your highest self. And you realize that actually, even though I had a good position, but I was not tapping into my highest self because I became very comfortable. Comfort is not a good thing. So I had to navigate, of how I was going to deal with the challenge. Obviously, it affects a lot of areas in your life, particularly because it was one of my significant areas, But I think when you are ready to embrace the lesson and focus on what is it that I have to learn, what is the lesson? So the lesson becomes so powerful because you are concentrating on the lesson, not on having a pity party, not allowing anyone to organize a pity party for you, because a pity party is very destructive. It will disempower you. You will not be able to move forward. So what happened is that I, a year before or 2 years before, earlier, I started working in NGOs as a volunteer. Well, most of them were women empowerment NGOs. Little did I know that that's where I was going to get my growth, or that this was going to be my area of focus, after losing my job. So I started to focus on that. And you see, most of the time as people, when we engage in voluntary work, we don't want to excel. But what I did was just to excel, like give my best, even though they were, NPOs and all that. And I think when you excel, you stimulate your passion. That's what I did. I started to excel, and when you excel, you see the results and you feel good. You feel good about it because you can see the outcomes, because I'm very big on outcomes. I don't like to do things that do not have a positive outcome. I like to see something that can be measured, that have a significant outcome and tangible results. From a personal point of view, it gave me so much growth. I grew from those challenges, but I had to start all over again in life, literally, starting all over again, learning new things. But I think it was an advantage, because I had gotten used to very destructive ways, being comfortable, having a particular way of doing things. But now, when you experience challenges, then you also embrace new ways of doing things, new ways of being you, which is quite exciting as well. It's not an easy journey. It's still, I can't say I'm there yet, but I'm just liking this person that has transitioned, and I like the woman I'm becoming after having those challenges.
Wow.
Yes.
Dr. Khomotso, few minutes back, I was thinking that you are not on camera, how I'm going to take up the show, but now I truly believe that your power of voice, when you were narrating your challenges, when you lost your job during pandemic and how did you overcome, I mean, this was more than sufficient to energize people, to rejuvenate people, to give them that inspiration that after losing the job, you still had the dream to move on and you will find the best. And as you said, Dr. Khomotso, later on you realized that whatever happened, it happened for the best. So this is the truly inspiring
Yes.
journey of Dr. Khomotso. I really, really appreciate
Thank
your
you.
vigor, your strength, and your way of never giving up in your lives, on your dreams. And yes, when you didn't give up, now you are here. When people are listening to you, people are taking a lot of inspiration, because everybody's life, so many people are there that they had lost job or they're going to lose the job. So you are an inspiration. Your life story is an inspiration, because you are giving enormous strength to them, to fight for them, to move on with them. And yes, there is always a silver lining in every dark clouds. We all know that. So thank you so much for this really great, lovely answer, Dr.
Thank
Khomotso.
you.
Well, ladies
Thank
and
you so
gentlemen,
much.
moving to this lovely journey with my lovely latte coffee, Dr. Komotso, a straight question to you without any delay,
Yeah.
and that's, what's your opinion about Kiddo's miracles? You can say anything about Kiddo's Latte Show, or any good, beautiful wordings about our Matt Allen, founder and CEO of Kiddo's Miracles. So the dice is in your court.
Okay. Kudos miracles. I like it so much. And the good thing about it is that they found me singing somewhere, singing my own song. And I think they were singing kind of a similar song. And somehow the melodies just blended. Uh, and I just fell in love with it because, remember, I mentioned that when people do things focusing on the human element, um, it brings something very fresh, something very refreshing and empowering. It ignites so much passion in people and energy. So for me, the most important thing is how the human aspect is integrated into everything that they do. It's the core of everything that they do, and which I think it's morally imperative as people to operate from that premise of saying we are human And this is how we can do things. And we can all do that because we are people. And I like the fact that it views people from being similar, from a perspective of saying people are the same, as opposed to people are different. And that's what I believe in, that, as people, we have to embrace our similarities instead of focusing on our differences. And for me, that is very, very important. That is why we have also written a book called The Lady Diversity Power. It's about diversity and inclusion. Because if you look at most of the challenges on this planet, they are there because we are focusing on the differences. We are not embracing this element of inclusion, of being curious. When you see someone who's different from you, why can't you be curious and excited and be fascinated and look forward to knowing more about this person instead of looking at the differences? So that is one thing I like about it, amongst other things, because I believe that we have to humanize everything that we do. Because when we humanize everything that we do, it's a different thing. We leave out all the differences and we just stimulate our being, because that's where we function. And I heard Ellen in one of his interviews. I heard Matt, my apologies, in one of his interviews saying that we have to increase the altitude of our thinking. I believe that it's a mindset. Our mindset have to be at a particular altitude, the highest. That is why for me, it's so important, because every day when I wake up in the morning, I try to take my mindset and put it there at the highest level, because I know that great things are waiting for me. But it was a struggle to get there. So that is why I say I like it, because the language that they're speaking is the language that I embrace. Because if we don't do that as human beings and do not unite, we try to solve problems of this world sporadically. You cannot solve them in silos, having a silo mentality. We have to have a unified mentality, mindset, not sporadically, not haphazardly, because if you do things haphazardly as people, not aligned to the bigger vision, then there tends to be a discourse, and we don't want to have a discourse. We want more harmony, because otherwise we will not enjoy our monies. We won't enjoy this world.
Very true.
So that
Very
is
true.
why my thinking is aligned to Kudos Miracles. Uh, I like Matt's thinking. Like when I met him the first time, virtually, I like, when someone is able to connect with another human being, and it reminds you that, wow, I'm human, and it feels good, you know. That's what I like about it. And it's not something that is in black and white, like a company policy. And that is why I say we have to humanize these things, company policies, corporate governance, whatever policies, government. If you bring the human element closer when we do things and integrate that and incorporate that into everything that we do and factor it in. Anyway, nobody has to remind you that you're human. It's automatic, So it's just a reminder that let's be more human, and things will be different. We will solve problems differently and be in a collaborative way, and harmoniously, and tapping into our highest self, you know, and be more productive, because we are more intelligent when we are human, when we tap into the human aspect of who we are. I think we become more intelligent and more resourceful and productive and more satisfied and fulfilled. I believe so. There's more, but I think today, for now, that's how I would like to answer the question.
And these are really, really, really Lovely words, Dr. Khomotso. What shall I say much? Because, yeah, whatever you said about our CEO, founder, who is here, who is there to felicitate you. So I pass to Man.
So at the beginning of this show, you introduced me in the usual um, extremely zealous way that you do about saying nice things about me. But really, this is exactly why we exist, why things are different, why we are looking to make change. Is exactly what Dr. Khomotso is talking about people, about the fact that we are all human, we are all unified. And on this day of remembering Mandela, and we'll talk to Dr. Khomotso about that in just a moment, um, it's about celebrating unity. It's about celebrating all people together. And that really is about the change that lies in front of us, is the opportunity for us to really embrace each other and realize that the world should be filled with love and not hate and not apartheid and many other difficult situations that exist in our world today. We are in 2024, and I think Dr. Khomotso actually spoke to me about this the other day. We're in 2024. How are these things still happening in the civilized supposed world that we exist in? This shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have wars. We shouldn't have people homeless on the streets. We shouldn't have people living in poverty. We should have unity and enough for all of us. And really, that is the way forward, is to embrace the fact that we are all human beings. That makes us the same fundamental people at heart. And that's the important phrase as well, is what we are at heart. What is our truth? What is the thing that makes us all united? And that thing realistically is love and family and community and belonging. And that's why I very much treasure having people like Dr. Khomotso and all of the wonderful people in the comments today, and those people that will watch afterwards. And it's just a privilege and an honor for us as an organization to serve people, and have wonderful people like Dr. Khomotso and all the other guests that we have on all the time. It's just mind blowing that people like her, people like all of the other guests, they come along to share their life experience and to share with us about what miracles are possible through the work that they do, and a little bit about what they feel about us and the way forward for the world. So thank you very much, Dr. Khomotso. Perhaps, if you don't mind, we would normally do a rapid fire question round. It's a bit easier when we can see people, so we can't see you, but we can listen to you. So if you would like, perhaps you can tell us just a little bit about what Mandela Day has looked like for you today, and also just maybe touch a little bit on what you remember about the world then compared to the world now, and what the hope is through Mandela Day to demonstrate a difference in the world to all people.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. That's a good question. My day, I didn't involve myself in a lot of the late Mr. Mandela's activities today because I had other, engagements. But normally, what happens on Mandela Day in South Africa, we dedicate 67 minutes to a cause for the community. You can just choose. For example, if I was not busy today, normally I would just maybe choose 67 women or go to 67 men who are just there on the street, unemployed, without food, and you give them food, or you decide to cook for them, or you go to the hospital for 67 minutes, you take care of the people who are at the hospital, or you go to the elderly home and you do something for them. It has to be 67 minutes of that dedication. So it's what we do in South Africa every year on the late Mr. Nelson Mandela's birthday. But even if I didn't do anything today, I just spend time motivating people that are going through challenges, because you have to do something. It's not a must, but we have gotten used to that culture of doing things for people on this particular day. And in fact, it's a beautiful thing when you do it every day. I think it's good because it brings back that culture of giving and doing for other people. Because normally as people, it's very difficult to enjoy things completely if the other person is struggling. It doesn't feel good. The world is a bit different today because, Matt, there are so many challenges that are shaping humanity, and it's not supposed to be like that. Sometimes media or social media takes over, and you find yourself not incongruent with who you are. You find yourself not aligned, and I'm addressing that issue of why do you think the world is different today from what it used to be. In the past, we're just content by being us. Like, if you're not doing well, it's okay. But I feel like because there are filters, in life, and generally people want to filter everything, which can be very problematic because people don't show up as who they are. Uh, what we need as people is authenticity, because when you are authentic and vulnerable, that's where you are able to get advices from people. If you are not able to say, hey, guys, this is what happened to me. I just lost my job. I went there, the company was liquidated. Guess what? You get advice from the right people, and then you get good advice. Then you are able to embrace where you are and who you are. So that I mentioned, you know, the fact that you just go down, and embrace that and feel whether it's the cold floor or whatever it is. And I'm just saying this literally because that's where you will get the strength. But I think life is no longer giving us that opportunity. But anyway, as people, we have a choice. You can make a choice. But if you're gonna filter your life everywhere, or just apply filters even in real or very life changing issues or matters, then you are going to miss out, because that's where you gain your strength and you grow as a person. But because you filter the social media, which expects everyone to be in Bahamas, doing something, or things that are supposed to be good, even when you greet someone and say, how are you? And the other person says, fine, it's okay. But we're supposed to say, but are you really, really fine? Like, really? You see, like, break down those walls that we put, psychologically, but mentally and all that. That's how we can connect humanly as people, and be more real, be more vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable because it's a sign of strength. People who are strong are people who can embrace vulnerability, people who can embrace weaknesses and embrace themselves when they're weak and strong. You have to take both of them with a positive attitude. It's not easy when it happens, but ultimately you have to take it with a positive attitude, because that's how manifestations of great things happen. That's how things manifest going forward. But if you do not do that, and you hardwire your brain with those challenges, with the resentment, with the hatred and unforgiveness, then I think you're manifesting all the wrong things. So I think what I'm trying to say here is, let's be real. Let's remove social media away from our reality. At times you find that, why am I so rich on social? Why do people think I'm rich on social media? I had to address that on my own, because you find people addressing you as if you're a very rich person. Like, no, I said, no, let me be real. There's something there that I'm posting that is giving a very wrong impression. So I think it's important to always be aligned, or make sure that whatever you put out there is aligned with who you are as a person, so that there's no conflict within you. Remember, the most important thing is you, your inner person. Other things don't matter. What is happening out there doesn't matter. As long as you are intact inside, that's where the real challenge is, where you need to constantly build and find growth and strength. So I guess, Matt, what I'm saying is, if we are more real as people, because I feel like in the past we are more real. Whether if you don't have anything, it was okay. You don't have it. But then we'll miss out the lessons because we constantly try to camouflage and come across as these people, and we lose out. It will stress other people. It creates mental challenges, psychological problems, because people are not aligned with who they really are. That's where I see the difference between the life that we are living today and the life that we used to live in the past. It's good. It has a lot of success stories and everything, but we must not lose our humanity, you know, in the process of developing as people.
Yeah,
So
most
yeah,
certainly.
Mandela Day is exciting.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
Thank
I'm going
you.
to
That's
end the stream because we've unfortunately run on for a significant amount of time. I very much hope that a number of people are still watching. One of my favorite quotes from Mandela is that it always seems impossible until it's done. And as much as we are
yes.
done here today, we are not done. We still have a lot of work ahead of us. Some of that does seem impossible in some ways in terms of what we as an organization and potentially what you, Dr. Khomotso, are going to help us with in the future. But as an organization, as humanity, as people, um, we celebrate the fact that although it might seem impossible, we know that it's not impossible. And we know that one day we will achieve what we are capable of achieving. We will achieve what we believe is possible, that we very much understand that we all need. That change is coming and that change is approaching fast. And when it's done, there will be no looking back. There will be no, what was it like before? Because people will be so happy with the present and the future that they don't need to misrepresent or show a different life that doesn't exist for them on social media or anywhere else. It's just the fact that the world will be a much better place because we're enabled to be the people that we should be, filled with love and peace and freedom, just like Mandela Day celebrates. So thank you very much for coming along. I'm very sorry for your technical difficulties earlier on, but I think that we have successfully gotten through majority of the questions, if not all of them. And we have experienced a very wonderful lady from South Africa here on Mandela Day 2024. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Khomotso. Thank you to everybody who's joined us in the stream and anybody who's watching retrospectively on Team Catch Up. Thank you very much for watching as well. It's a pleasure to host wonderful guests like Dr. Khomotso, and we look forward to many more exciting and interesting guests as we move through the following episodes coming up. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and let's make miracles
Thank you
happen.
very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye
Thank
bye,
you.
Dr. Kudos. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for having me. Bye.